Hello, my little ghoulies. Logan here with another installment of Triple Terror. I am so sorry I went MIA for so long. I just, kind of threw my voice and, sometimes need a little bit of a break when you're recording really long videos like this. So we're back with another installment of Triple Terror, which I do like doing these videos, by the way. Sometimes I just do start to hurt my throat and I just need a little bit of a break. I'm sure you guys understand. So today we are going to be discussing the surprise zombie, the Rapping Reaper, and the 12-foot bone collector. So these are all still part of the original Techie line. They are kind of not a special group like it did the aquatic characters. The next little grouping will be special. That'll be the Wednesday Addams grouping. So we are going to start off with the surprise zombie. Actually, my favorite one of the bunch, and one of my favorites overall. This is very old school Techie. I mean, this is what I would have expected in the early 2000s from Techie. Old school spirit, maybe Target back in the olden days before they became all family friendly. Even like Kroger even used to have stuff like this from Techie as well. But yeah, like this is really old-fashioned. It kind of mixes the pop-up gimmick that they used to do a lot back then with another animatronic that Spirit had. I think it was the pop-up grave zombie was its name. I think it was Tailux that did that. It had the Form Novelty zombie head, if anyone remembers that. I think that was in 2014, if I recall correctly. It was in the Ruins ISE. This is what this really reminds me of, but again, just very old school Techie, early 2000s. Even the looks of it is very old school. It kind of reminds me of one of my favorite jumpscare Techie items, the Jumping Skull, with this corpsed character just being consumed by cobwebs. Doesn't really make sense, but like it's still cool, it's kind of that kind of thing. Like, you don't understand why, but it's there. And I don't know, it even has like the old kind of spotlighting that they would have. I mean, it's old school. It's what you would have gotten in the early 2000s, right? I mean, it's really cool. I like it. So this guy is $150. Again, little expensive. This looks more like a budget item. So I really wouldn't price this that high. I don't know, I just think $150 is a little too much. I would have done like maybe $100 on this. What does really sell this for me is it does not look like it's foam. It looks like it's all plastic, which is really nice because Techie is notorious for using like the foam tombstones. And those do break over time. They get kind of dented and they'll fall apart, especially if you use them in a haunt environment like I do. I have some foam tombstone props and they have a little bit of wear and tear on them. So it is nice to see that they're doing, and I could be wrong, but to me this looks like plastic. This does not look like foam. And also, what's really funny is in the background, like the official Techie background, and even in the demo, they actually have some prop tombstones. I can't remember whose these belong to. Might be Rosemary? Not Rosemary. What was her name? Resurrection Mary. I don't remember. These are definitely prop tombstones, so I thought that was kind of a funny homage. They're older. So I see you, Techie. I see you kind of referencing older items there. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, again, really simple item, but sometimes less is more with these. I really like it. It just kind of has the zombie groaning and even just old school techie audio, really. It doesn't talk, it just growls and groans. It's got the classic techie screaming audio. I like this. I really do. And it's pretty big too. It's like 3 feet tall. So it's not like really itty bitty. I plan on getting this for sure. One of my bigger displays is a cemetery. And I love having techie cemetery props in there. Rising from the Grave Ghoul is one of my most popular props. Also have the Rattling Crypt, the Grave Grabber, those like hands. So, and I'm trying to get more of the. Oh, I'm Jumping Zombie too. So I want to get more stuff like this from techie specifically because it does hit a certain vibe, and it's also just really nostalgic for me. Because I mean, dude, when I was a kid, like Kroger, if you live in the Midwest, you know what Kroger is. They had stuff like this. Like they used to have like the Rise from the Grave Reaper and all that stuff way back when. I'm kind of aging myself here because some of y'all probably have never seen that thing in stores. But like, yeah, that is how old I am. No, like it's cool seeing techie do old school classic things like this. And even them bringing back like old school classic things like Resurrection Mary and all that too. So I kind of wonder if Fraser Hill might have inspired them to do kind of older styled items like this. Because this is very not modern techie. This is very old techie. That's good. I like old techie as much as I like modern techie. So I'm very excited for this. I don't know what you guys think. I think the face looks really good too. Kind of that rotting skull. Again, this is like pinnacle techie right here. You know, you got the flesh on the top, and then further down, it's just like the skeletal lower jaw. Flesh is just barely clung to it. And then again, the hands, they got like, they're missing bits of flesh. It's, again, old school. It's what I grew up around. This is the type of prop that I grew up around. This is what they looked like, you know, when I was a kid. So, I'm excited for this. I am probably more hyped up for this than that clown, which is really weird. I think it really strikes that childhood nostalgia with me because, like, again, this is absolutely the type of thing I grew up with. It's weird. It's so bizarre. Like, I don't know why I'm so hung up on that. Like, I saw that, and the first thing I thought was wow, like, that really hits my childhood. Like, because no one makes props like that really just hits that childhood nostalgia, but also still looks good. And I feel like Techie's kind of the only company that can pull that off. Sorry everyone else, but, you know, Jimmy couldn't save their own lives. Yeah, this is me casually throwing shade at them because we have Jimmy items waiting for their videos to drop. And, anyway, let's get into the video of this thing because it's cool. I could ramble on about this forever. Boo! Boo, 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 boo! So, we're going to be talking about MTV's newest sensation, The Rapping Reaper, MC Undead! I'm sorry, this thing is like such a funny prop. I had to like do a silly little segment because I kind of like this thing, unironically. It is so silly. It is so nonsensical. It's kind of good. Kind of like Killer Clowns from Outer Space, but like a little 3-foot rapping Reaper. Techie, like, kind of went all out on this thing. I mean, they gave him little sneakers, little treat bag, a tiny scythe, and honestly, the most endearing little skull I've ever seen on anything. And not only that, they gave him probably one of the funniest product videos I have ever seen, where he's going all around the Techie building, filming his little music video, like an indie rap star. I mean, I know people I went to high school with who would do it just like that too. So, I don't know. Kind of thought it was really funny. So this guy is, I think not Depot, gosh. See, I'm getting my hardware companies mixed up. Is, I think, Lowe's newest little small character. Last year, it was the little Raggedy Ann doll that spun around. He's a little scarier. And this year, they want to do something more, lighthearted and friendly, which I'm all for that. Because, listen, I think that we need friendly stuff with the scary stuff, because not everyone does a big, grand, scary display. Some people do like the friendlier items, and I support that. I see you, I hear you, you are valid. Really. So this guy is $79.98. I think he's okay. I mean, he could be $50, kind of like, the Jimmy Clown was, but it's also Jimmy, and Jimmy's not as good as Techie, so maybe he's okay. So this guy kind of bops his head around and moves his jaw. I think the jaw is on a hinge, and that's why it moves. He's got light up eyes and the cutest soundtrack. I'm sorry, this thing is pretty cute. And he also has a little treat bag that you can fill up with candy. So it's kind of a more fun experience for the kiddies, instead of, you being a wicked, evil, terrible person using sitting scarecrow like me. Well, I used the clown, but same difference. But you use this instead, be nice. Which, hey, listen, if you like stuff like this, I won't judge you, because, hey, we all got our different taste levels. This is something my grandma would totally buy, put on her porch, and think it's the cutest thing ever, and would just send me a million pictures of. Shout out to you, Nana. Love you. But yeah, no, this thing is really funny. It's super cute. I don't know. I like it. I've seen some haunters really bash on this thing because it's not scary and it's super corny. And listen, this is to you guys specifically. Just because it's not talking about killing your neighbor's dog and not holding some super gory, severed head, does not make it any less deserving of being a part of a lineup than anything else. Some people like friendlier Halloween decorations, and that is A-okay. It's not a waste of a product slot, okay? It's fine just the way it is. I understand that you might have a different taste level and you like super scary, edgy items, and there's nothing wrong with that. But some people just don't like that, and that's also okay. We all like different things in the Halloween world. Can we all just get along? I mean, come on. Granny props are no different than scary props. Everyone enjoys them. Just, I don't know, pull the stick out your ass. This being by Techie, by the way, doesn't shock me. Some people acted super surprised. Just remember that Techie was a novelty company at one point in time. I mean, they did a pole dancing ginger woman. They did a bunch of farting characters. I mean, they had a president of the United States that flipped his hair up. Like, this doesn't surprise me. This is pretty tame to other Techie novelty items. So, yeah, no, this doesn't surprise me. I actually am all for Techie doing cute, friendly novelty pieces like this. I kind of want to see more because I want to feed in to the mom pa friendlier side of Halloween because I do enjoy seeing that just as much as I like seeing the scary stuff. I won't buy it because I don't do a friendly display. I am very much a scarier haunter, but I do think those people are just as worthy to have their items as we are. You know? Also, I want to personally shout out the person who filmed this thing's video. This guy's product video is top notch, super funny. I mean, it takes itself so serious. Like, I mean, this is stellar. The editing is stellar. They had to carry this guy all around the techie building. You deserve a raise, dude. This is hysterical. I watched this video on repeat. I was dying. My freaking stomach was hurting by how hard I was laughing. It's so funny. It's so dumb, but it's really funny. So kudos to you. And if you guys didn't know, Techie is the one that filmed these videos. But yeah, no, this was really smart and it was so funny. This is like MTV worthy. Just, I applaud you. Anyway, here's the video for you guys to enjoy. I hope you guys get a good laugh at it, just as I did. Yeah.
Yo, boo! Boo, 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 boo! Boo, 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 boo! Trick or treat, yo, smell these feet? Huh, give me something good to eat. I want candy, and it better be quick. Give me the king size, or I'll be bringing the trick. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Reapers are coming when you hear that knock on the door. I'll say boo! Boo, 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 boo! Boo, 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 ah!
And now on to our last item on this little Triple Terror episode. The 12-foot bone collector, also by Techie. So this is Techie's second ever 12-foot prop, alongside last year's 12-foot scarecrow. And already, Techie is really coming out of the gate swinging with their 12-foot items. For one, this is not only Techie's, like I said, Techie's second 12-footer, this is also the second ever 12-foot item to utilize servo technology so far. This guy uses servos in his eyes, which is pretty fitting, I would say. He also has a moving head and a moving mouth. Techie really likes to make animated 12-foot props, unlike SVI, which typically likes to just do light and sound items with very limited movement. I would say SVI's most animated item was the Predator of the Night. So it's nice to see Techie kind of jumping in the ring and also doing more animated 12-foot characters as well. So I have had just a million and one different thoughts and feelings and opinions on this guy. Initially, when he first leaked, it was an earlier prototype. He had flesh-toned skin, he had a wide brim hat, he had different clothing. The burlap sack even looked different. I mean, this photo was everywhere. It leaked faster and further than any fake manufactured leak that came out of Steel Pumpkin. And I saw it and I was like, oh man, like this is not good. I don't really like it. And then when we saw the Lowe's showcase, I saw the final model and I was so much happier. I like the kind of cloak. I like the kind of creepy, like, caretaker vibe to him. I don't know, the other one kind of looked like a weird giant Amish guy. That's kind of what I was getting from it. He looked like his name was Jebediah. So I like this one a lot more with the gray skin, the hood, the new clothing, and even the burlap sack just doesn't look as thin. So it looks just so much better. The audio is pretty nice. He has a very deep kind of both booming and soft voice. It is kind of reminiscent of the Jemmy butlers, how they would also some of them would have kind of that "who dares enter my abode," kind of that classy voice, which I like. It's not very stereotypically techie, and I very much enjoy that. Now, there is something I really don't like about the Bone Collector. I do not like the skeleton. I don't like how they did it. I think it kind of ruins it. I don't like how it's just a head and a hand sticking out of the sack. It's just... It doesn't look good. I think what I would have done is given him like a longer burlap sack and maybe have like a bit of the torso hanging out of the side, or like a leg hanging out, or an arm and leg, or have like a hole in the center with the skull peeking out. Something other than what they did. I just think it looks really corny. It looks kind of cheap. Especially at a $400 prop, I would kind of want a little more. Just with that little thing kind of hurts it a lot more for me. Now, granted, I'm also not like the biggest fan of 12-foot props in general. I really don't tend to buy them. I literally have one 12-foot prop, and no, it's not that stupid skeleton. It's the ghost. I like the ghost. But that's like one thing I would have changed on that, is just how they did the burlap sack and the skeleton gimmick. I would have changed that a little more. But that's really all I think I would have done with that. Everything else I think is perfect. I think it looks good. I like the face. Yeah, the prototype though is so goofy. It reminds me of like an Amish pale man from Phantasm. I don't know, that one was interesting, and I'm glad they changed it, because I did not like that original one. I really did not care for it. It looks better. I am excited to see this one in stores. I did see the Scarecrow, and the Scarecrow was really nice. I thought the Scarecrow was very impressive, so I'm sure this one's going to look just as nice. I like his giant shovel. Again, I like that he's got a sack. I just don't like how they did it. Again, I would have tweaked that a little bit. I would have workshopped that. And the servo eyes, too. I'm really glad Techie is experimenting with servos right now. I'm glad that they're kind of, using more new and innovative tech with their stuff. So I'm definitely curious to see what their future 12-footers are going to be like. If they're going to be using LCD screens in the future, what they're going to do, because it looks like they are competing neck and neck with SVI. I really wouldn't even say they're competing with Jemmy or Seasons USA, as they're in a league of their own. They're like in the little league. Not a good league. I think Techie and SVI are kind of the top dogs with the 12-footers right now. And all I gotta say is keep doing what you're doing, because I like seeing this, and I like seeing how innovative you guys are. And I really wonder if in the future we will see some of these Techie 12-footers hit depot shelves. Just a thought. I would hope so, because I really think that Techie is giving SVI a run for their money. I know that freaking SVI fanatics will be like, no, which, I mean, I'm not going to have an argument with you guys, because you guys just like to be argumentative about good companies. Sorry. That one just kind of rolled off the tongue a little bit. But, yeah, no. Objectively, I think Techie is really giving SVI a run for their money. But I'm definitely curious on what you guys think about these three props. Do you like them? Do you dislike them? I personally like them. I'm a fan of them. Really, that Grave Zombie is on my watch list. Anyway, we're going to play his demo video, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. For the next one. Bye, guys.
Who dares enter the Master's abode? Your soul shall be vanquished to the deepest, darkest dungeon if you do not leave now.